I honestly wanted to talk about something else besides Alex Murdaugh or Diddy. But now, Murdaugh's had a ruling on his federal appeal. Diddy's been up for yet a third bond hearing. And like Al Pacino said in The Godfather Part 3, just when I think I'm out, they keep pulling me back in. Join me on a legal deep dive of the results of Alex Murdaugh's federal appeal and Diddy's third bond hearing. What's good, people? Let's start with a recap of the federal plea agreement of the world's most popular attorney, Alex Murdaugh. Now, when he pled guilty, in his plea agreement there are multiple conditions, none of which he complied to. Little things like not lying to the government after you plead guilty. Another condition was he agreed not to appeal whatever sentence he received. So, of course, after he was sentenced, he immediately filed an appeal. And if you actually watch my prior podcast where I discussed his appeal in detail, I made a prediction that the appeal would fall flat. And now, the results of the Court of Appeals, drum roll please, denied. It wasn't even close. The Court of Appeals clearly stated that Murdaugh knowingly and voluntarily waived his appeals when he made the plea agreement. It wasn't even a close call. No ifs, buts, or ands about it. Now, of course, legally, he can, and knowing Murdaugh, probably will appeal this decision. However, I feel confident in saying good luck with that. It's the end of the road for his federal sentence. There's no chance it's going to be reduced or reversed. Time to move on. Now let's turn to Diddy. Now when it comes to parties, he's the host with the most. He has made yet a third request for a bond. And honestly, I didn't even anticipate or predict he was going to go for a third time. That third request has also been, drum roll please, denied. In the prior hearings, one of the factors that concerned the court was the allegations and evidence by the prosecutors that Diddy actually engaged in witness intimidation for the witnesses involved in the case. On the other hand, Diddy's lawyers really just didn't bring anything new. And we've talked about this. When you lose a hearing, particularly a bond hearing, and you're going to try to get a judge or court to change their mind, you can't just come with the same old shtick. You got to give them some evidence of some significant change in circumstances that were not present during the prior bond hearing. But just making the same arguments and rehashing them over and over again, and that's not going to do it. Now, in all likelihood, Diddy's probably making his lawyers do it because he can't stand being in jail. And again, hey, I get it. I don't blame him. He's got the money. He's got nothing to lose. He's sitting there in jail. But at some point, you have to accept reality. And another gut punch in his request for a bond is the judge set a trial date for May of 2025. That's in a very short time period. That's a quick turnaround. So that doesn't allow his lawyers to argue he's going to suffer a lengthy pretrial incarceration. And basically what that means is your client's going to be sitting in jail for a long time just waiting to go to trial, and it's not fair for him to sit in jail so long. I've used that argument myself. It's very effective, but that's really only effective when someone's been in jail for a long time waiting to go to trial, at least like a year. I'm going to call it like I see it. Both Alex Murdaugh and Diddy are stuck like Chuck. They both need to accept the reality of their situations. Murdaugh is stuck with and will serve every bit of his federal sentence, and Diddy will be sitting in jail until his trial in May. So, what do you think? Do you think either one of these guys got a raw deal? Do me a favor, post your comments, and call it like you see it. That's it. Well, that's all I got, but I do appreciate you taking the time to join me on this legal deep dive. I think it's always fun to discuss these topics, tell you what I think, and get your feedback. I would really appreciate it if you took the time to like the video, subscribe to the podcast, and also I'd appreciate you sending me your comments so we can discuss the topics you want to hear about. That's it.